And you're alive.
Hello, hello, and welcome everyone to Gratitude Happy Hour. I'm Teri Angel, your host, and I'm here with my beautiful co host today, Karen Palmer. Hi, Karen, welcome.
Hi, I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. So, we work with We the World and the We campaign at we.net. We the World is a global coalition building organization with 11 campaigns to transform our world. You can learn more about We at we.net, and we definitely encourage you to do that and to find out what this beautiful organization is all about. And today, we are a part of World Unity Week. Karen, this is so exciting. Oh my gosh, I've been watching some of the shows on World Unity Week, and what an amazing, amazing event this whole week is becoming, isn't it?
I know I'm so excited. And tomorrow I'll be doing my live stream. And my show is Miss Kindness. And Miss Kindness is a show that's dedicated to having a family friendly experience where we can really journey inward to understand a little bit about our inner journeys, understand how powerful and super powerful we are with our gratitude and our kindness, and how we can utilize these beautiful traits to expand our world to have a kinder and more loving and more peaceful world. And it's a really exciting time because I really believe that we have created a space with We the World that is giving people an opportunity to see that everyone makes a difference. And I'll be taking people on a wonderful inner journey called the Web of Love. And this Web of Love is where we start to understand that we are all part of this web of love. That there are beautiful strands that are sparkling and are so, so amazing. And not one of those strands is more important than the other strand. And this is why we have to understand this so that we can co-create a world that works for all of us. And that's why we go from that me society to the we society, by having those three I's: to inform, inspire, and involve. So I'm so excited. And then I'm so excited to be a part of the Peace on Earth tour. We were so blessed to have Teri Angel come to my town in Solvang, California. And we had the most incredible time. And there were so many miracles that happened that day. I can't wait to share those.
I know, Karen, I'm so excited as well. That show on Friday is going to be so amazing. I've invited people that have been touched by the Peace on Earth tour and what that all stands for, and spreading the peace, love, and joy in the world. But Karen, first, I want to share about you and our connection. We found each other, oh my gosh, I believe it's been about 7 years now, six
Yeah.
or 7 years. We found each other on social media, realized that we were working for the same purpose. We were both working to bring more enlightenment to the world, to share more gratitude. That's what drew us to each other. It was gratitude. And we had a mutual friend, and every day we were focused on gratitude. We were focused on uplifting people. And I just want to share that gratitude has been such a huge part of my life. Every day I start my day with gratitude. As before I even get out of bed, I just say, thank you, thank you, thank you, God, for another day, for another opportunity. And when we met, we were both having that same thought, that if we start our day that way, which we did, every day we would start out with edifying somebody and really enjoying getting into the energy of gratitude. And when we start our day that way, it just expands throughout the day.
Yeah.
And I became to know you more and more as Miss Kindness, and saw what you were doing in the world as well. And we started collaborating. And it has been such a journey with you, Karen. I just want to thank you. I just want to edify you right now and lift you up for all that you do in the world, for all that you do at We the World. You're amazing. And you're just constantly putting that energy out there that it is a we society, that when we collaborate, when we help each other, it's no longer just one person. One person can make a difference. I believe that. One person can change the planet. But when we work together and we share the burden of bringing more light into the world, then wow, it just explodes, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's why this week is so exciting, because the World Unity Week is happening, and we have teamed up with the beautiful Temple of Heart, and also the Temple of Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine Rising. So we have got some incredible, I just encourage everyone to go. I just typed into the chat, worldunityweek.org. If you go to worldunityweek.org, you can see all of these beautiful, incredible programs that are just so inspiring, and the people who are behind the scenes just doing this work. I just want to give a big shout out to Colum here, being behind the scenes. Colum has been such an incredible, beautiful blessing to We the World, and that's what it takes, is all of us sharing our gifts and finding a way that we can work together and accomplish twice as much. Because first of all, it's so much more fun to work together. And it's just an illusion that when we're doing it by ourselves, even when we feel like we're actually doing something by ourselves, we are never doing anything by ourselves. We are always being guided. We are always, and we get to listen. We either listen, I'm doing a whole thing with the Peace Pals International, and the May Peace Prevail on Earth, and the Peace Polls. We're doing all of that as a beautiful collaboration. What this week is all about, and I loved this beautiful talk that they shared yesterday. Jim Garrison and Kurt Johnson did a beautiful, beautiful explanation of where we're going in this. And they dressed up as Captain Spock and Captain Kurt, and they did a wonderful, beautiful experience of helping us to see what an incredible thing that we're doing here is called radical collaboration. And we are doing a collaboration that has never been seen before on the planet, because this is a time where we are coming together and realizing that everyone is just as important as everyone else. That has never happened on our planet. And so it's really exciting to be involved in an organization like Unity Earth and We the World, and over thousands of organizations have come together for the World Unity Week. I can't even name them all. We can't even put them all up on the website. There's so many. And so it's really incredible. The Sign Network, right now, we are going live on several different pages at once because of the Sign Network, which is Synergized Impact Network Exchange. And when we have that Synergized Impact Network Exchange, that to me personally is listening to our divine guidance. That's listening to our divine wisdom and seeing how we can amplify the goodness in everyone who is doing these important things in the world. And what I love about what we do together, Teri, and what I love about what we do together is we always amplify and edify each other. And we never, ever look at each other as competition, even though we are. I mean, we really are competition. In the old school, old story, old marketing way that we marketed, it was scarcity and lack. And I needed to put you down and build myself up in order to be successful. Now we are in a completely radical, different collaboration here, where we used to collaborate, where it was beneficial to me to do what, it was beneficial to me to collaborate with you, but sometimes I wouldn't do what I said I was going to do for you. But, what we're doing right now with this radical collaboration is we are truly, truly knowing that we are so connected, that everything that we're doing for World Unity Week is expanding the field, which is our unified field, which is that heart math, that heart brain coherence that Teri leads us every day, every night in. And this is what's happened is when you set an intention and you send it out into the field, it begins to expand and amplify beyond what our human conception can even comprehend. And so Teri and I, like I said, we met online. We met because she was posting some things about it was random acts of kindness, and she had set up a Facebook page that had random acts of kindness on it. And I reached out to her. We were also in a chanting group that we were a part of, a Shreem Brazil, and that was an incredible, beautiful group that was with Jason. Jason had started that with some other wonderful people, and we're still friends with Jason. We're still connected and collaborating with Jason. And this is what it's all about, is really seeing that we're all here to collaborate. We're on the planet. We're here to get to the place where everyone is feeling this unified understanding that whatever I do for me, I'm doing for we. Whatever I do for we, I'm doing for thee. And there is no separation. There's no separation whatsoever. And if we can just get that, nobody has to get it but you who's watching this right now. Nobody, you don't have to teach anybody else what I'm telling you right now. You just have to accept it and allow it and align with it. Like our beautiful Marietta always says, accept, align, and allow it into your field, into your individual experience. What I have found is that when we focus more on the individual, we're focused on duality. When we're focused on what's in it for me, we have lost the truth, and we have stepped into the illusion, and we've stepped away from our true nature, our true innocent original self. And when we step back in, we just step back in. That's all. There's no, I do a little thing, like, oops, I projected again, got out of my heart, got lost in the mind. Oh, baby, baby, oops, I defended again, got lost in my head. Got to bring it to my heart. And that's it. Just when you catch yourself, just laugh at yourself. Like, I'm dealing with a health issue for somebody in my family that I love so much. And what am I doing? I'm not going to project any fear, which is false evidence appearing real. I am going to extend love and see that person in their perfect essence, as their original innocent self, and know that I can connect with that person even though I'm not physically in any kind of close vicinity, time and space wise, but I can connect heart to heart with her, and she can feel me, and I know she can feel me, and she can feel the love. She can also feel the fear. So if I'm projecting fear, I'm actually adding to the illusion. So it's always up to us what we choose in every moment. Every single moment, we're either projecting or extending. And it's really that simple. So
Yeah.
if anybody has a health issue that you love so much, and that you know, and you're getting bad reports, you're getting horrible reports saying, you know, EKGs need to be done and this needs to be done, and we think that she's maybe even having a heart attack right now. We don't know what's happening. This is what I want everyone to know. This is why we have these opportunities to heal our own heart first, and not go into the false evidence or the false concepts or the false ideas or the false beliefs, because fear is all false. It's all false. I started saying it's false everything appearing real. I just started saying that to myself. False evidence appearing real, and false everything appearing real. And you know, it's that simple.
It is simple. It's simple. We tend to complicate things, as our beautiful angels always tell us. But I wanted to touch on something that you said, because we don't have to be in the same vicinity as someone else for them to feel us. And you know, Karen, I used to think, what does it matter what I'm putting out with my energy? What does it matter if I'm angry, if I'm upset, if I'm afraid? I'm the only one, right, that's experiencing that. But that is so not true. It's not true because of that connection that we have with everyone on the planet, everyone in the universe. We are all connected. And Karen, you have taught us many times that one person putting out the energy of love and positivity counterbalances 750,000 other people who are not in that high vibration, who may be sitting in their anger or their fear or whatever it might be. So when I learned, and I learned this through Heart Math Institute, that my vibration, whatever my frequency is, goes into the collective soup. So whatever I'm adding into that soup as an ingredient, it either brings the vibration up of the frequency of the planet, or it brings it down. And so when we make those choices every day, how am I going to be today? What do I want my world to look like today? Then we are determining if we're going to be a part of the solution or a part of the problem. And it is that simple. It really is. You know, I've had so many people that tell me, oh, but, you know, this happens and that happens. And, you know, I just can't get my vibration high. Can't, according to the angels, is I choose not to, because we all have that ability to make our choices and to make our decisions. We were given that. We were given free will. And yeah, it may not be easy. It's not easy to pull yourself up from a lower vibration, but pull it up just a little bit at a time. Maybe you are angry. Let's go with that one. Let's say something happens and I am so angry. To start moving out of that anger, I can just move up a little bit. I can just let it subside, do some breathing, release a little bit of that energy, maybe talk to somebody about how I'm feeling. And then that releases some of that steam that is just built up inside. So you do it bit by bit, step by step, until eventually your vibration starts to raise up higher and higher. And that's how we do it. We can't go from anger to exhilaration all in one breath, but we can make a conscious effort to increase our vibration. And that's what it's all about. And when we can get into that higher vibe, which is what's going on this whole week with World Unity Week, then we can feel that we are part of the solution. There's so many shows about how do we bring peace into the world? How do we bring more peace forward and more love and more joy? And that's how we do it. We start inside. It's an inside job, right?
Absolutely. And I've been going into the schools for over 20 years now, and teaching this this project that we're talking about right here is helping to navigate our emotions. and not making our feelings or emotions wrong. You see, that's what it's all, understanding social emotional learning, heart intelligence, you know, emotional intelligence. It's really, many of us are empaths, and you know, we have these beautiful gifts that have been given to us that I believe everyone has. I don't think anybody's different. I think that we have more awareness about the things that are our gifts. We share our gifts more if we feel more confident and safe. And that's another thing that I really believe is so important when I work with children, is what you're saying is when children come in and they are feeling angry or sad or even fearful, a lot of times they're told to suck it up, and you know, you don't, nope, you don't, it's not okay to feel that way, you know, go in your room until you feel differently. It's just go in your room until you feel differently, you know, and you go in your room and you try to figure out what they want you to do, and you just become this role of what you think other people want you to be, and then you don't acknowledge your own feelings. And so it's so important that, you know, what you're talking about here is really, and everyone who's watching right now, you know, everyone who's watching right now, whether you're watching live or on the replay, just know your feelings and emotions are a gift. The angels explained to me long ago, when I've had a gift to be able to talk to angels since I was a little girl, since I was a little baby. I've understood my connection with source, and understood my connection with the divine, and understood that we are one with all that is. And we are all part of this beautiful, beautiful web of love. And there is nothing that separates us, nothing except our beliefs, and our and the belief has a lie right in the center of it. And we've been programmed to believe these lies, to believe that we have been thrown out of the garden, and that we are not, that there's an original sin that happened, but it's not true. We are originally innocent, every one of us. Every one of us, no matter what's going on in every situation, we have to look and understand that when a fear comes up, when an emotion like fear comes up, or an emotion like anger comes up, or an emotion like sadness or disappointment comes up, this is a gift, because we get to feel. You know, the angels that come to help us, that are guiding us, that we are so blessed to have a relationship with, they don't get to feel. They don't get to feel emotions. They don't come in. We came in here choosing to have all of this experience. We wanted it all. We chose to come in and experience every bit of it. Every duality, every polarity. We said, sign me up. I'll go and I'll take on abuse. I'll go on and I'll take on resilience. I'll take on, you know, we signed ourselves up, and we decided how we were going to show up in the world. And I really believe that, you know, when anger comes up, especially anger, I really love working with children when they have anger, because what you can do is rain on that anger. And rain is recognize, acknowledge, investigate, and then nurture. Nurture. Who nurtures anger? Who knows how to nurture anger? And how can you ask yourself, I don't really know how to rein on my anger. You know, be gentle with yourself. Be compassionate with people who are angry, with people who are fearful. You know, when somebody's going through a very dangerous experience with their health, and they are, you know, very, very fearful, the most powerful thing you can do is stay connected to love. Stay connected to love. Don't go into their nightmare. Don't go into their illusions. Don't go into their fear with them. Hold them up and raise them up. That's what I think is an important thing. So rain on that anger, rain on that fear, rain on that sadness with gentle rain of blessings.
Absolutely. And Karen, you're so right. It doesn't seem natural to pour love into something that's unpleasant, like anger or sadness. I'm sorry about the little dog.
Trooper.
Today. But it's the best thing we can do. When we pour love into that emotion, then we're acknowledging it and we're wanting it to heal instead of trying to push it away and resist. Because what happens when we resist? It persists. So going into the acceptance of it, like you said earlier, accept, align, allow, and then just love yourself, pour more love into you. So thank you for those words. That was so beautiful, Karen. I'm all right, Trooper. I want to share the Declaration of Interdependence. Can we do that now? And I want everybody watching to share, to follow along with it. So I'll read it one line at a time. Okay,
Trooper wants to repeat it.
So let me see if I can get him up here with me. This is little Trooper. So we'll let him be the peace mascot today. All right, here we go. We're going to read. All right, this is the Declaration of Interdependence. We, the people of planet Earth.
We, the people of planet Earth.
In recognition of the interconnectedness of all life.
In recognition of the interconnectedness of all life.
And the importance of the balance of nature.
And the importance of the balance of nature.
Hereby acknowledge our interdependence.
Hereby acknowledge our interdependence.
And affirm our dedication.
And affirm our dedication
to life-serving environmental stewardship.
To life-serving environmental stewardship.
The fulfillment of universal human needs worldwide.
The fulfillment of universal needs worldwide.
Economic and social well-being.
Economic and social well-being.
And a culture of peace and nonviolence.
And a culture of peace and nonviolence.
To ensure a sustainable and harmonious world.
To ensure a sustainable and harmonious world.
For present and future generations.
For present and future generations.
I love this declaration. I just love it. And I did use it in the very last land blessing that was done. And I will use it in future land blessings that will be done, including the global land blessing that will happen on Thursday, right here on We the World. We are planning that at 7 o'clock Eastern time. We're lighting the crystalline grid for peace and honoring the waterways and the land and the air and the mountains and the trees, everything in nature and all of humanity that's on our planet. So I'm hoping that people will join in for that global healing of the planet. And wherever you are, you can do the virtual land blessing right along with us. Just follow along. I will have a stone, a crystal, and it will be virtually placed wherever you are in the world. You don't have to be right here. Remember, we talked earlier about how we can connect virtually. We don't have to be in the same present place that you are. So this is one of the events of World Unity Week. And Karen, I'm so excited about this event. I will be on with Dr. Ruth Anderson and a couple of other ladies that will be bringing that forward and bringing forth an angelic message from all of the waterways and the mountains and the land. So very exciting things that are happening this week. And on Friday is when we're doing the Peace on Earth tour recap. That one, oh my gosh, that's my heart, because Karen, that's my mission. I heard from the angels last year in the middle of the pandemic that I was to start going around the nation, and I would be doing these land blessings in different places. And I remember when we did the one there where you are in Solvang, it was so special. And I remember your dog. Can we talk about Kaylee's part in doing that land blessing?
Well, yeah, you know what was funny that I want to share about that was before I went to see Teri, we were spending the weekend together, and Kaylee had not been feeling so well. I almost didn't come and visit Rosalind and Teri because I was fearful that Kaylee wouldn't be able to, be inside the house, and there might be an accident or something, because she's an older dog. And I realized it was very amazing was I was projecting all of those fears and all of that. And Teri pointed it out to me very gently, very kindly, very, very compassionately. Is that how you'd like her to be? And I thought, wow, no, you know what? I hadn't really thought about that. And Teri and I wrote a book together called Time Heals for Animals. And my friend Kaden that I was out with last night, she bought the book and she asked me to autograph it last night for her. That was a little girl that I helped raise. And now she's married and happily married and moving into her 30s almost, which is absolutely amazing to me. But we had such a beautiful talk about the love that she felt and has always felt with me, whether I was there in her life physically or not. She always knew that she could feel me in her heart. And we talked about that. And when she was reading the book, she said, that's really how I've always felt about animals. And I've always felt like I had a gift to connect with animals and to understand and communicate with them and be able to, and so this book that we wrote together, Teri and I, is to help everyone on the planet know that everyone has this gift. We come in with these gifts as a child, and we have all of our multisensory gifts, and we have all of these abilities that are available, that are beyond what we can understand or comprehend or even express as children. So our adults come in and help us to be programmed to believe that we don't have these gifts. And so very well-meaning adults who don't believe in their gifts anymore say to children, you don't have these gifts. And what I come into the school, and I don't use the words gifts, I use the word talent. I don't use the word multisensory. You have to change things up a little bit to go into the schools. But these children are very clairvoyant. They're very clairaudient. They have all of their clairs. They're very claircognizant. And so they have all of these incredible gifts. And the dogs and the cats and the animals all have them too. They can telepathically send us a message. And so anyway, Kaylee was getting these messages to me. I wasn't really receiving them because of my fear and my doubt and my programming to believe, well, she's getting older. This is just something I have to accept. And this is just what happens with dogs as they get older. I was projecting the past into the present. And unfortunately, I was really projecting that. And Kaylee was picking up on that energy. But when she got around Teri and Rosalind, it changed me. And then it changed her. And the energy was so incredible that it was contagious. And I realized, and I said, because Teri was saying, Rosalind offered to take us out in her truck. And I was saying, oh God, I don't know if I could take Kaylee and somebody else's truck. What if she, has an accident or what? I was projecting. And so I decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore for that weekend. I thought, I'm just going to see how she does. And she was just miraculous, just miraculous. And when we were going to the land blessing, I knew that it was kind of rough, hiking. We were going to have to go down the hills and up the hills. And was she old? She's an older dog. Was she going to be able to do that? Well, that dog just became this little puppy who, when we went to the land blessing, she was right there in the heart of everything, right in the center of everything, and laid right at Teri's feet while Teri was doing the blessings. Not only did her energy start to create this beautiful field of joy. Kaylee's like a bubble of joy. She's like this beautiful, beautiful bubble of joy. And her energy brought this other dog that came in, this beautiful husky that came in that we had no idea would have been at the land blessing. And then my dear, dear friend, who was a librarian at the school that I taught at for many, many years, just shows up out of the blue. Just shows up at this, and she had no idea we were doing a land blessing. But I'm telling you, that land blessing was filled with miracles. A beautiful family came and was interested in what we were doing. And we didn't have, it was the Super Bowl Sunday. So I tried to invite as many people as possible to come. And none of the people I invited were able to be there. But all of these other beautiful souls showed up. So that was our land blessing in Solvang. It was such an incredible, incredible experience for me. And Kaylee is doing so much better, even with more health scares, even with very, very serious health scares that I had to address, that I had to rain on, that I had to, be okay with, and see her as her perfect, healed, whole self. Because if we don't see each other that way, then we go into the illusion together. And if one person stays out of the illusion, we don't join in the agreement. And if we don't join in the agreement, then we can lift each other out of that illusion.
Absolutely, Karen. And it was so beautiful that Kaylee she knew what to do. It was just, we followed her lead because she knew to come right where I was. She knew to lay there very peacefully. And she was helping to put that energy down into the ground to communicate with all of the crystals underneath the earth to bring in the energy of peace. And that's what the land blessings are all about. It's bringing in peace. And we declare that every night. Every night we chant for peace. We chant. Let's talk about our chanting, because we're going to be on the World Unity Week on Thursday night doing the chanting. So when we do that, we are chanting for the end of all suffering, for each person in the world to feel a part of, that collaboration part, that connection part. That's what our chant is all about. And I love that we're going to do it on World Unity Week through We the World, and let other people understand that we do make a difference. Let's talk about that, Karen. We have made a difference. We have had so many miracles that have come to fruition over the last year of us chanting together. Can you talk about some of that?
I think the biggest miracle is that we have reflections of oneness in our chanting family. and many of the people have reported that in their experiences. Jean Loriot is a beautiful experience that we all held her in when she was having health issues. We all held her up, we lifted her up, and she to me is a walking miracle. Charlie Coons, another beautiful walking miracle, going through challenges, human challenges. We go through human challenges, but when we're holding each other in the oneness, when we're seeing each other as our true nature, as our true original selves, and we're holding each other in that perfect, healed and whole state, and we're lifting each other up with the chant. The chant is removing all obstacles, all barriers, and all illusions. We've been chanting this for over a year. We started, it was going to be a 40-day challenge, but we all decided to commit to continue till whenever. We've stopped, putting a limit on ourselves, and we're just following the prompts. We're following the prompts in our heart. And I don't think it'll ever stop myself. I think it'll continue forever because I love it so much. And miracles happened. I personally had my father, who is dealing with Alzheimer's. And during this time, he was living on his own in an apartment by himself. He was having many, many accidents and hurting himself, and was very adamant that he did not want any help. So being 3,000 miles away, I live in California and he lives in Massachusetts, he stopped answering his phone. It was the only way I could communicate with him. It was the only way I could know if he was healthy and that he was okay. And he stopped answering his phone. And I knew that we had to step up. I knew something was going on. His health was very, very much deteriorating, and he was pushing us out of his heart. He was pushing everybody away. And so my sister and I had to step up, and we had to, gratefully, my father had made my sister his health proxy. And so my sister was very, very adamant about letting him have his own experience, letting him stay in his own house, seeing if we could get a nurse. But I had tuned in to my inner guidance, and I knew that he needed a lot more help than what we were able to offer him. So I chanted about it, and I chanted, and I when we chant, what we chant is Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, is where we are chanting for the law of cause and effect. So we're really holding the vision of a mystic law that has been around for thousands of generations. And what we are doing is we're surrendering, trusting, and being so grateful for this mystic law to work in our life, however it needs to work. So in that experience, my father, we had an amazing opportunity open up that he could go to a memory care facility and that he would be taken care of. Now, financially, that looked impossible. That didn't look like it could possibly ever happen. And so I chanted again. And honestly, my sister and I sat together and we tried to figure it out. You can't figure it out. All you can do is surrender, trust, and be grateful that there's some other answer that we can't actually see right now. We can't really understand just yet. But that's how we accept, align, and allow the miracles to flow in. And that's the mystic law. That's the law of cause and effect. What we give out, the cause of love and hope, and seeing people in their perfect essence and seeing them complete and healed and whole, whether they have that appearance in their physical, mental, emotional. And that's what we're doing, is holding that vision for them. So long story short, my dad has been in a memory care facility now for over a year. And all of his finances have been taken care of. And there have been incredible nurses and physical therapists that have helped him, and his health is excellent. He's happy, he's safe, and he is a walking miracle, just like Charlie, just like Jean, just like Roslyn, just like Grace Isis. We have this beautiful family, just like Prachetta in India, another walking miracle. We have so many beautiful reflections. I'm writing a book right now called Reflections of Oneness, and it's all about me opening up to stop seeing the false evidence as real and asking to see the oneness in our world and the unity in our world, and asking, letting go of what I think I know and saying, I don't know how to see reflections of oneness. I don't know how to share unity consciousness. I don't know how to show people that we're a global family. And I ask that inner guidance. I ask that inner wisdom to help me. And my question is always, how can I be truly helpful in this situation? What can I do to be truly helpful in this situation? Right now, as we speak, somebody that I love very deeply is going through some very scary tests. And I'm not there with her physically, but I can feel her in my heart. And she just texted me, I feel you in my heart.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And that's just, the angels have explained to me that we humans love confirmation, but we also love to complicate things in our human self. So when we find ourselves complicating, realize in that moment, as soon as you want to complicate something, you've stepped away and you just need to step back. You just need to step back in. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated. It's not like you have to go and do an hour meditation and you have to get yourself so quiet that you can't hear anything but the voice, within, and that inner still voice and that stillness. It's not like that. It's in an instant. Am I projecting or am I extending? That's it. Ask the question, am I helpful or am I adding to the illusion? Am I adding to the love and the light and the truth? Or am I adding to the illusion? That's all you got to do is ask yourself those questions. And once you ask those questions, you're back in your true self. You're back in your heart,
Yes, that's one thing the angels have emphasized, and that I try to make that statement every day. Stay in your heart. Stay in your heart. Because when you come out of your heart, that's when the fear kicks in. That's when the doubt, the insecurity, all of those things that trip us up, that's when that kicks in. And if we realize that and recognize it, then we can go right back into our heart. And it's so simple to do that. You just breathe it in, slow down. I use pause. It's like you're hitting that pause button on a movie, and you just step back and you just breathe. Just take a moment to breathe and realize that it's up to me. Whatever's going to happen here is up to me, because I can either put forth that faith and trust and belief and go into it with ease and grace, or I can do the resistance part and start to paddle uphill. But the other ingredient that's so important in all of this is gratitude. So giving gratitude, I want to give gratitude right now for your loved one to walk away from this in perfect health, knowing that everything is working perfectly, everything is okay. And I'm so grateful. So I'm putting out gratitude for that miracle, even before I see the evidence of it. And you're right, Karen, we love confirmations. When we talk about those miracles, and we've talked about them a lot on the chanting show, we love seeing that miracle happen. We love seeing the evidence of it. But when we can give gratitude, even before we see the evidence, that's when we have arrived with our faith and with our trust. And so I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for your loved one. And I am holding her very deep in my heart right now. And I believe in miracles. I believe in angels. You know, it's that wonderful, just knowingness of it all, and knowing that everything is working the way it's supposed to work in divine time.
Yeah, and you know, there's a little song that I sing to myself and a little mudra that I have been teaching, and that is bringing your hands around yourself, giving yourself a hug. When you give yourself a hug, you actually start, this is like scientific and physiologically, when you do that, you can send that hug to that person, the person that you can't be with at that moment. You can hold them by closing your eyes and seeing them, and even just a memory of them, maybe some time that you had so much fun with them, and seeing them in their perfect health, seeing them as their perfect self, as their perfect health, and then talking to your heart, your own heart. So I wrote a little song that I do for myself, and I encourage everyone to do this whenever you feel fearful, whenever you feel angry, whenever you feel disappointed or sad, whenever you feel confused or lost. All of these are a gift. They're a gift telling you that you've stepped away from your own heart, your true heart. You've stepped away, and now it's time to step back. So this is, you are my awakened heart. You are the one who makes it start. You are the one who plays your part. You are my awakened heart. Stay awake. Stay awake. You are my awakened heart. You are my grateful heart. You are my awakened heart. Because if we bring ourselves into that knowingness, and bring ourselves down, and you can do this as a meditation. I can even lead you in this as we close out, maybe just to imagine closing your eyes. Imagine all the busyness of your day, all the busyness, and you're at the top of a staircase, and this staircase is just showing you all the crazy, crazy, crazy thoughts that are going on. And you're standing at the top of that staircase, and you notice there's a gold light shining, and it's shining on the banister, and it's pointing down, and it's showing you the stairs are lighting up like gold, beautiful, bright lights. And every step that you take, 5, 4, your shoulders relax, your jaw relax, 3, everything feels so good, 2, 1, and down those stairs, you enter in to your awakened heart, your grateful heart, your true heart. And in that true heart is your sanctuary, the place where you are always so loved, so cherished, and so appreciated. And that is how quick you can be in your awakened heart. And if you want to add to that, you can add to that by just giving gratitude. Thank you for for quieting my kind mind. And that's another thing too. All those thoughts, all those feelings, all those emotions, don't make them wrong. don't try to hide them from people. Don't try to hide them and put on that happy face and put on a you know, a front so that people can, you know, see that you're so strong. Let people know, I'm struggling right now. I'm having a real human challenge. Will you help me? I want to remember who I am. Will you help me? Help me remember my truth. I've forgotten. Can you help me? And be gentle with each other. And somebody comes to you and they maybe are not kind and they're not saying, help me. They're screaming at you and they're blaming you for all their problems in the world. And they're telling you that they've wasted their time and their whole life has been a mess because of you. And you're sitting there and you're wondering, how is this possible? How can this person that I love so much and that I thought loved me feel this way about me? Just go into that awakened heart. Don't let yourself spin in the head. Don't let yourself project their fears, their doubts, their insecurities. Don't go into their nightmare. Stay awake. Stay awake in your awakened heart. Stay awake in your grateful heart. It's that simple.
That's simple. I love it. Thank you, Karen. Thank you for that beautiful meditation. What a great way to end our program today. I want to thank everybody so much for being with us. As we said earlier, collaboration is the key to what We the World is and what we do. And if you would like to collaborate with us as an individual or an organization or partner, go to we.net/partner. Our network includes over 30,000 leaders and members of socially conscious organizations and businesses. Karen and I both are leaders in We the World. Karen works with women and allies, and you can reach her at we.net. You can send her a message. You can also reach me, and I'm leading the Peace Campaign, and we'll be bringing lots of projects forward for peace. And we believe that peace is possible. I believe it's already here. We have to open up our eyes to it, and all of us work together and collaborate to make this a more peaceful world, a more loving world. And I just heard today, Karen, that there was a peace treaty that was signed between two of the Native American tribes. I was so thrilled to hear that. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot more information coming out about that over the next few days. But I really encourage everyone to go to We the World and just find, there's lots there. So find something that resonates with you, whether it's working with women and families and building up and empowering the feminine, the divine feminine of the world, or if you want to get more involved in peace and bringing in more peace on earth, whatever it might be, you'll find something there for everybody. Karen, thank you so much for being here. Can you just share how people can find you, whether it's Facebook or if you have?
Well, the best way to find me is, just through globalkindnesstv.org. And as we're closing out, I'd just like to share the song that the angels gave me. That is the Global Kindness song. That is the World Kindness song. And it really was given to me before all of this pandemic, before what we experienced, but I was shown what was coming. I was shown what was coming. I was shown that global kindness going viral would be a way for people to come together to really believe that kindness changes everything. And this song was given to me. And then I started creating musical coloring books. And I have musical coloring books that are for We the World too. We have special collaboration coloring books that are educational and musical, so that you can download the music and you can sing along while you're coloring with your families. And anyway, those are all going to be available on we.net too. We're going to have a We store. So and the shirt that I'm wearing also, you'll be able to get the We the World, so that you can have clothes you wear that show you care. But this song is really touch your heart, as you listen to it, and really listen to it with all the love that came through as this song. If we all took the time to care, there'd be no one alone out there. We're all in this together, connecting hearts in every weather. Play your part, make a start, share your heart, spread it wide. World kindness going viral now. Share the love, that is how we will have kindness now. Share a message of hope and joy. World kindness, it's happening today. Spreading kindness, touching hearts in every way. World kindness, it's easy to start. World kindness, just open up your heart. Open up your heart. Open up your heart. We're bringing kindness back. We're bringing kindness back. 'Cause kindness pumps you up. Kindness pumps you up. Kindness pumps you up. It's growing and growing the more we speak. Kindness, compassion, it's at its peak. I challenge you, you challenge me. We are one global family. There's unity in all we seek. So spread this wide and find a way. Do something kind every day.
I love that. And I love you, Karen Palmer. Thank you so much for being here. You know, and all the shows that we do together and all the shows that I do online, we end it with a word that means the divine in me sees, recognizes, acknowledges, and loves that divine that's in you. So let's do that, Karen.
Namaste, y'all.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.